that. Server manager. Scoop. I didn't do a whole lot off stream yesterday. Mostly I set up a couple of little things here and there. I'll show you all when I get in. Loading, loading. Hopefully everything's all nice and backed up. But over here, I actually set up processing for one of the parts. Part of that is something we need for the research here, and then it also goes into one of the parts in the space elevator. And I went ahead and did the leading edge production yesterday, although I don't have automation for the turbo motor set up. We need those rods for this, and that was what we worked on yesterday to get to that point. It's gonna be painful to craft everything. But this is also why I set it up automatically. Let's see, and then we do need versatile frameworks for one of those. I think it's the magnetic thingadoodler thingamajig. Yeah, that requires that, and also batteries, and lots of them. So this should actually be finished crafting. That, on the other hand, is a newer one we're going to have to do, and we haven't unlocked that yet. That'll be the one that unlocks with that last research in the table there. And then there's that one last little bit of MAM research. But, let's see, I got that set up. I added a little bit more over here. We're running into a problem with not enough of the aluminum casings. And so I bumped up the production of that. I don't remember if that was on stream or not. And let's see. That might not have been on stream, but yeah, heat sinks. They're being auto-produced, and then they come over here, and then I set up the production for that. This is making the cooling systems, which is a part for another part. Goody. And technically, we can produce the Mark III miners, but I don't think it'd be worth it right now. Let's see, and inside, off camera, one of the few things that I did do, I finally just set up a manufacturing setup right here. And it's waiting on something. The adaptive control units. But how full is our storage over here? 51, 52, 53, 54, 800, 1600. Yeah, we don't have anywhere near enough. It's mostly the adaptive control units. So, let us see what our bottleneck is. Wiring. Does that go somewhere? What is the bottleneck? The fact that there's only one machine doing it. That's the bottleneck. Okie dokie. And I believe we need uranium ore for that last MAM research. Let's go ahead and get everything else ready to go. And then, after that, go ahead and go grab the uranium that we need. Because we're going to probably burn through a few filters just to try and get it. Oh yeah, there's also the fabric way over there. What was the recipe for the iodine filter? And that's the gas mask plus what? Gas filter, quick wire, and the aluminum casings. The gas filter is coal, rubber, and fabric. Alright, I think I know where to get both. Coal, both the fabric and that. Yeah, that's a positive sign anyways. I like seeing things backed up. Because generally it means if it's backing up, then that's not the bottleneck. And the fun part's going to be running the lines and everything for increasing production of stuff. The batteries will need some sulfuric acid as well as water. Or not water, the aluminum. The aluminum slush. That's going to be painful to craft. At this point, I don't actually care if they're backing up on tickets because, quite frankly, we need to... We've got all the stuff we can buy except for, like, the trophy stuff. I did get the cup of coffee. Because priorities. I think you can use the player's trash slot to dispose of the radioactive material. It just doesn't work for... you can't put it into the awesome sink. Fabric. Because I set up that alternate recipe for fabric. So the ISV Skyblock server launches tomorrow. And even if I wanted to, I would not be able to stream it tomorrow simply because I have workers coming over sometime tomorrow after 8 a.m. And that's just as vague and unhelpful as it sounds. I don't know when they'll be here. Let's see. That is the oil pump. Where did I set it up? I think I stuck it over here somewhere. I think I stuck it over here because of convenience. Yeah, I believe that's the refinery. Which isn't doing anything because the box is full. Fabric. All that for a little bit of fabric. Yeah, we're doing okay on that. So next we need coal. I think there might be some in one of those 2 boxes next to the hub. This is one of those games where I start out with all kinds of ambition and plans, and then I end up not doing most of it. Why would I do that? Also, I can tell my computer's getting close to due for a restart, so... I don't mean it's going to restart on me. I mean, it needs a restart. Windows 10 has been the worst for that out of all of the Windows versions I've used. Windows XP Home didn't give me that kind of trouble. It could stay on for months at a time and be fine. Windows 7 on the same hardware, my previous hardware, with the GTX 970 and 4690K. I could leave that on with Windows 7 on it endlessly without a problem. Windows 10, you gotta restart it at least once every 5 days minimally, if not more often. With the streaming the launch of the Skyblock server, there's supposed to be workers coming over to do the duct cleaning. The house I'm in hasn't ever had the ducts cleaned, and it's a 50-plus-year-old house. So, yeah. So, I'm pretty sure it would normally take a fair bit of time, but it might take extra long because of that. That was an interesting graphical thing. Check my boxes over here first, and then we go over to the other one. Because I might have some over here somewhere. Or I might not. Wow. We're actually running out of that too. Because I left a box full of coal over here. If I remember my stack sizes correctly, we're going to probably just grab all of it. As in, I think I'm just going to disassemble the blocks. And I believe, I was thinking about it, and per my calculations, we should be able to overclock that miner, upgrade it to Mark III and then overclock it, and that'll do the full 32 coal generators. The problem is I don't know that I have enough room for another 16 coal generators. What do I do from here? Yep, grabbed all of it. I have yellow on because I'm wearing a hazmat suit. Usually, the last time I played through and got to this point, I put the hazmat suit on and just wear it all the time. There's no reason not to. It doesn't impede your movement at all, and it would otherwise just take up space. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it over there. I think what I might do is get all my battery production over closer to where the oil production is. If there's a... Let's see. I know there's bauxite. Is there sulfur anywhere? Oh, no, that's bauxite. Way over there. Over that way is where I want to go. So now we've got coal. The thing that I would need is sulfur. I mean, technically that sulfur node isn't doing anything. So I could... It's been updating. So I could take it from there, but that's a long trip for the... Dump the sulfur down there. And that's the bauxite node I'm using. So my thinking is, if I use a separate bauxite node, then I don't have to pull from the one I'm using for my aluminum production now. But on the other hand, it seems to be just barely keeping up. That's my water disposal. Yeah. That makes the alkylate aluminum sheets, which at the moment it's going to struggle with because I increased the number of constructors to make the aluminum casings. So, anywho, I believe I'm going to have to look at it, but I believe that with the MAM research, I need uranium ore. And it should be that way. Yeah. My fat head won't fit through. This box. Because that's the last of the sulfur research. Because we need uranium to make those uranium cells. Goody. I think it might be a good idea to build a little box nearby that stuff too while we're at it. And rubber. Let's grab some rubber for the inside. But if the game seems a little framey, that's why it needs a restart. I don't think we're going to be using all the fabric here. Gas filters, 320. Fortunately, it's a pretty easy craft. So, last night, because all I could do was just wait on the machinery that I had just set up, I went ahead and hopped on ISV for a little while. Mostly I've just been working on digging that another fortress I built out. It's painful when you have a large build like that, and then you change your mind. And you have to tear it down, especially as far along as it was. Also, earlier I threw together a snapshot world of the latest preview and started poking around with some of the new cherry stuff, but I didn't get super far with it. I have some ideas, I need time. And I threw together a multi-MC instance to do the skyblock, because my understanding is it's 119.2, not 119.3. I'll still need to go through and do the authorization because I'm not technically whitelisted there on the event server. And coal was the limiting factor, which is what I was figuring. Quick wire and aluminum casings. And we need a lot of all of that. Especially the quick wire. I don't think we're going to go through that many, but I figure while we're here. About yay much. Carefully measured amounts and calculated. Double clicks. Shift double clicks into Minecraft chest. We actually need to increase our aluminum production in general as well. And what I'm thinking, I was thinking with the section that we do the batteries from, maybe go ahead and also use that to generate just the casings. That way, it frees up the other one to just focus on the alclad aluminum sheets. But we also need to get the what you call it. There's another thing that I need to produce as well. Not to mention increasing production on those smart thingies. Because I've used them all. I actually have better supercomputer production than that. I have to go look at it again and see what it is. Okay, so what was that thing again? I am thinking about joining the Skyblock, but I'm also kind of thinking I'd like to have a shared island with someone. Or I could go and solo it, I suppose. And if I need more filters, I'm going to have to go find coal somewhere else. And before I get too far along, I should probably go follow the recipe chain just to see what I actually need. I believe those do need those electromagnetic control rods. But I don't remember what all it calls for. And I think I want to put a biohazardous waste box out there. As much as possible, I would like to avoid being in the radiation. I mean, I could stand around in it, but I don't think I'm going to need it, but I think I might grab my gas mask too. The gas mask and some spare rifle ammo. End up doing like I did with the steel pipes, maybe. Except for I'm also diverting the casings because I need them for batteries. And as most people don't show up until later in the stream, the beginning of the stream is the time to be staring at a crafting table. Alright, let's see. What is that called? Sulfuric acid, 10 uranium, and 3 concrete. Which we need to make the sulfuric acid anyways. And you make it in a blender. Mildly radioactive. Yes, I know that. I've got the AI limiters, and we probably have the Noblisk. But that's 10 ore per. We're going to need 100 uranium. This isn't going to end badly. It's fine. Take both of those. I don't know that the jetpack can use the turbo fuel. Put everything else away. That's so that I can make the container over there. And this will be all the dealings in the I think this will be all the dealings directly in the uranium. Because I don't believe any of these parts require it. Yeah, that doesn't. That's being manufactured. That's being manufactured, and that's manufactured. The only thing here that's missing is the turbo motors. I've got everything else crafted. I don't know that I'll have 100 or... Oh, I was going to grab ammunition. Should probably do that. I don't think I have more Noblisk available at the moment. No. I need steel pipes and black powder. Let us make some more obelisk. We're gonna need a whole bunch of it anyways for the this. We need 500. And the obelisk gets produced over here. That's cheaper. Should have everything we need to do that. We just have to set it up. I'd have to go and fetch the black powder, but there should be a box full of that. And there should also be a box full of the... Well, there is a box full of the steel pipes. Don't think I'm gonna need that much, but yeah, just in case. I don't think I'm gonna need this right now. Basically what that tells me is I probably would be fine to just dump a bunch in and go from there. Because I believe I could craft it over here. Yeah, no ballists. Explosives. That goes in there. I don't think I'm gonna need that much, but just in case. Normally I would dump that into the trash chute, but I think here I might not do that. Because that's an industrial storage container, this is not. And then the rest of the black powder I'm going to stick in the other industrial over here. Since it doesn't actually have a home inside there. So this early direction. Oh, I can't quite make that. At least not from that point. Could probably make it if I went up to the edge. I will say I am glad I went with using just the stackable poles because I've needed it to be stackable on more than one occasion. We should be good to go. Yeah, it should be a closer box. I think that's compacted coal to make turbo fuel. Yeah. Obviously, that isn't going to hold all of this. Obviously. But we do need quite a few of the nobelisks. Not as much as is going to be produced from this, but we're still going to need a few. This isn't my last stream of the week. There should be one tomorrow night. So, I mean, I can probably transport this sulfur to wherever. The issue with it's going to be the water. Because there's a bunch of hills involved. I also thought about parking the production of the batteries down by the space elevator. Just sort of hang it out over the void. And hopefully I get over 100 of this, but I don't know that I will. I don't remember if you needed a gas mask on or not for the hazmat suit to work. I don't know. It's been a minute. Plus, they've changed stuff in the game because, well, it's early access. They're still developing it. So we need the far box. And then the remainder goes in this box. Or maybe not. Stick them in there. I should have the ability to make that, and I think I'm going to make it the hazard box. It's just the look of it. But I want to make sure we get at least 100 uranium. And the sulfuric acid shouldn't be too awfully hard to get since we need it to make the batteries. Fortunately, that's not really as big of an issue as you might think, because with the quartz being bottlenecked the way it is, worst case scenario, what I might do is pull off of the other miner. Pull off the secondary miner and use that one to make more. In fact, that's not a bad idea, but one step at a time here. We'll find out here in a minute. I don't know that I'll get 100 from that. But since I'm trying to avoid actually using the nuclear reactor, because as far as I can tell, there's no recourse for once you've poisoned the area. It just sits there for eternity. And I know people will do things like sending it off a cliff in a truck or whatever. Then it's just sitting in a container hovering in space for eternity. believe that is radioactive there. There might be more over there too. And there goes people with their motorcycle. Yeah, there's some radioactive over there too. Rude. Wait for ourselves to heal up a little here. That's why I brought the rifle. And that one's not going to be any easier. And this is also why we got 600. Woohoo! That should be enough. Well, I'm here. Go ahead and grab it all. That one gives you a lot. And that's why I brought the jetpack. Take that off for the moment. And that is radioactive stuff, so yeah. There should be some guys here. We're gonna burn through all of our filters here. On the plus side, we're getting quite a bit of it. Way more than I was expecting. But this is also why I made so many filters. I'm in danger. He says as he packs the radioactive material in his pocket. There are actually uranium nodes, but if I can get away without using those, that'd be great. The worst part's going to be carrying all this back to where I'm using it at. And the higher radiation level, the faster you burn through those filters. I thought I made way too many, and now I'm thinking I might not made enough. left as far as the research goes. That last sulfur node with the uranium fuel cells, I think it is, and the project parts for the elevator, as well as the last little bit of regular research in the main hub. So very close to being done. And if anybody's watching both me and Hypno, part of it is because I'm more familiar with the newer versions of the game than he is, but also mine is I believe his is completely single player, and mine is on a server. Technically, it is on a server, so mine runs when I'm not in the game. I don't know if you ever put it on one or not, because I have not been able to catch up on videos. It's hard to do when you're streaming a lot and watching a lot of streams. And when you're not doing either of those activities, you're either sleeping or not home. There's a bunch of other streamers and videos that I've been trying to catch up on. So we're also going to need other gubbins to make the power pole for it, and we're going to need to be able to do the belts. So cable's fine, reinforced plates. We need regular iron plates, iron pole, rods. Iron rods, and we're going to need concrete, because I want to put a foundation under it. Need stuff to make a splitter, need to make another merger, couple mergers. It'll do it, it's just we need a lot of work to do here. Is there any other quartz nodes anywhere? Wow. Not near where I've been. That is more nitrogen gas. How lovely. So I could do the full aluminum processing somewhere over here. Full normal aluminum processing. The thing missing is the sulfur, which technically that node is claimed, but it's not doing anything because it just goes into a box. And it sits there. But I think I can probably run it not with too much difficulty over to wherever I need to go. So, this will be tough, but worth it. But first I want to get my silica going a bit better. Most of it just goes to that aluminum production stuff. I don't think we're going to need a ton of any of this stuff. It's just... I like to bring extras just in case. We'll need that. And the cable we would need anyways. It's got to hook it up to power. And I don't know about that, but we should bring some of that. Let's see, power. Yeah, I got some of that. Logistics, make sure I actually have the materials to make both of those. And I think we're good. And the foundations are just 2 iron plates and 2 concrete. And it doesn't matter what size you use, it uses the same amount of materials. I've just been using the 4s because I've always used the 4s. I know it means another belt on my stack here, but or start a new stack next to it. Now I would have to put it on top because it's got to go over to the other side there. But the nice thing about the nitrogen is that it's a gas, and so it takes very. You just use the pressurizer thing on it, and you can take it anywhere you need it to go. All right, let's go to our quartz first. That's over there. The problem when you start getting too tall with the stackable conveyors is that when you go to place the belts or the pipes or whatever, it gets really hard to get it to line up correctly. Since the quartz crystals aren't going anywhere, I don't recall them being used in a whole lot of recipes. Let's actually look. Quartz crystals. Recipes produced in production rate. Advanced radar technology and high quality display screens. Right. That'd be not necessarily that. The crystal oscillators. What all are the crystal oscillators used in? It doesn't say. That's unfortunate. If any of the if any of the devs ever actually watched this stream, that's something you might want to look into adding. The ability to go, oh hey, what is this? What recipe is this used in? Oh, default. There and there. Got too close to the gas. Production constructors. Floor is too steep. Right. Well, at least they fixed the issue where it would say the floor was too steep when it was on foundations. I mean, technically that'd be fine. And then that's there. Silica. Silica. I didn't bring anything to make belts out of. Oh dear. Start with the Mark 1s, I guess. Guess that's what I've got. I'll have to come back later. So it'll only be slightly faster than what that'll do. Yeah, I have to upgrade my belts. Guess somebody forgot to bring steel full of belts. Oh, and I actually know why I'm so tired at stream time. It's because my natural sleep cycle had me going to bed at like 2 a.m. and getting up at about 11. And repeatedly, I have days where I have to get up at like 6 a.m. That doesn't work. And so I end up being up really late. And that's a byproduct of trying to get stuff done that I can't work on because I'm not home. So there I did all 3 water pumps. Okay. The 4th one feeds the other machine that needs it for something else. I mean, technically it is a rate of 60, and it's not quite that high of a rate. So if one of those is the equivalent of 3 of those, that means you need 3 constructors, one of them at like 66%. I think I'll need the silica for the other part too, which is part of why I wanted to increase production here. I think there's other silica nodes, but they're nowhere near where I am currently. Silica nodes. Quartz nodes. Definitely looks like it's producing it faster. So the other part is getting used for the crystal oscillators, which go into things like the radio control units, but at the same time, they're not going very fast. And the spacing there is because of the different speeds of belts. So we're gonna need two belts over to it. We're gonna need one for the silica and one for the sulfur. I don't think it'll divide up perfectly like it, but since we're using some of the alumina solution for making batteries instead, I think we can reduce the amount of constructors a bit. So basically 6 should be enough. Since it's not balanced anymore at all, I'm not worried about making sure that I have exactly 2 more of the other constructors for the other one. But since we need more of that, it should auto-prioritize. I.e., the things in the other end of the constructor, they'll go into the one that has the opening, but not in the one that's full. And so it'll just go to the next one. The splitter will send it to the empty side. But because we need so much more of that, so we got that taken care of. And the silica production is because it's involved with the aluminum. Which we need to do for battery production. And also we need more of those casings anyways, because one of the recipes over there is also using them. So it'll get there eventually. Even if I do nothing to increase the production on that one part, it'll still eventually get it done. Let's see. That's a pure node. And that's also a pure node. Okay, so basically either of the nodes I was looking at should be able to do the same. The liquids part of the processing should be exactly identical. So we'll be shipping in the bauxite into... I think it's just one refinery for that. No. 2 refineries to turn it into the aluminum. The aluminum solution. one to turn it into aluminum scrap and silica. For the batteries, I believe we do actually need water for that. Because I think it's made in the blender. Yeah. Sulfuric acid, alumina solution, and aluminum casings. Alright. Actually, let's put those away for the moment. So before I get to that part, I know we're going to need 3 water extractors. That I know. Looks like I'm using the Mark II pipes, which means I'm going to need plastic. So 2 refineries. Yeah, refineries for that. And since the plastic is over there, shouldn't be too big of a deal for that. And 1 more for the aluminum scrap and some coal. So we're actually going to need a coal node too, which happens to be right there. So there's coal, there's our bauxite. The one that I can't find is the sulfur. So we're actually going to need 2 miners. I'm just going to do Mark IIs. We don't have all the parts to do the Mark III. Alright, so we should need 2 of those. And I believe I need 2 constructors to make the models. Wow. Yep. 2 constructors for that. And 2 packagers. 2 packagers. And then 6 constructors. Wow. I'm just going to do 6 constructors because some of the aluminum is going to go to elsewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I believe it's the refineries turns it into the aluminum. Yep. Four refineries. Not refineries. Foundries. Yeah. Why is that one not receiving any aluminum scrap? That would probably help. Alright, so we'll need 4 refineries, foundries, and we're going to need a massive area. Let's see, water extractors, 3 for that. And then I want to grab 1 more water extractor to make for the sulfuric acid. And then we'll need another refinery, and we got a lot of stuff to make. It's one of those, is my inventory even going to hold all this? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with just 1. 50 per minute, and this uses 50 per minute, so 1 should be fine. 1 more refinery to make the sulfuric acid. And 1 blender. And I have a massive shopping list now. Yeah, that's the correct direction. Okay. Radio control units, which are over in the corner? Yeah. Don't need nearly that many, but here we are. Aluminum casings. And heavy modular frames. And regular modular frames. Wow. More than a full stack. And rubber and plastic. And 2 portable miners. And I believe there's a couple more things on there. Rotors. Rotors. Some encased steel beams. I might not be able to hold all this in my pockets. And motors. Copper sheets. Which we'll need a bunch of anyways. And then portable miners. And the rest of their inventory fill up with concrete and iron plates. This is going to be fun to get to. Of course, 4 of these. Now for the fun part. Getting over there. 1 for the coal, 1 for the bauxite. And in this case, the purity of the coal node doesn't actually matter. Because it's all going to be shoved into the one thing. But I believe that's a normal node. Yeah. Normal, so we're going to get 60 per minute, and I don't think we need that much. I don't think we even need 60. Or maybe we do. I can't get around anymore. Yeah, that's just like a camera bet. I don't care. It's in the refinery that turns it into aluminum scrap. Okay, 120 coal per minute. So we might want to nudge up the power usage on that thing. I think no. I overclocked it to do 240, not 120. Right? Time to run back over here and check. If it's the 120 amount instead of 240, I should be okay without overclocking, but if it needs the overclock to do the 120. But I'm pretty sure that the one that's overclocked is doing 240 and normally does 120. And I believe any of the miners over here I should be able to just look at and go, oh. Let's see. Because I'm pretty sure I just have this one overclocked to do 240. Yeah. So at 100% speed it only puts out 120, which is exactly what I need on a normal node. And we're gonna need a pretty sizable area for all of this too. And we might trip our power too. Or suck our storage down first. I think this is where smart splitters could work, except for the amounts of stuff that's being transported. Altogether exceeds the amount that even the Mark V belt will hold. It makes me sad, but I was looking at the... I was actually looking into doing the trains and reading up on them, and while fun and all, they're actually less effective at transporting stuff than just running a belt the whole way. First, I think I'm going to get a platform ready. Or get the beginnings of a platform ready anyways. Exit property detected. Yeah, that. So then 3 of those water extractors connect to a Mark II pipe that connects to the refineries that are doing the bauxite into aluminum solution. Now, where exactly was that? I'm hoping to have free space somewhere here. Oh, I got ways to go before I get up there. That's quite a ways, in fact. Looks like that part of the... in between the islands. It's too bad it doesn't show you what you've built. It's one of those things where it takes a while to get stuff going anyways, and then on top of that, it's compounded by these take long. Each thing takes longer and longer. The more machines you need, the longer it takes. And eventually, there does come a point where it's like, it's going to take you hours just to get the one thing set up. But this is actually why I didn't do this last night, because I would have been up until time to get up. So according to the map, it should be just the other side of that arch. I mean, just the other side of it could be a couple hundred blocks away, or a couple hundred meters. Thinking in Minecraft terms again. That looks like death. So I'm facing directly at it. Like there. Actually, if I could set it up on land instead of on the water, that'd be great. Swimmy, swimmy. But if I'm reading the map correctly, it should be like right over that way. Ow. It should be like right there. Yeah. And then this little straightway here is where the other is. I'm just throwing some foundations down for the moment. So it'd have to be at an angle to get there straight to it. Actually, I think... I think I can do that. I might be too close to just go straight there. I have to exit out of that first. But according to that, I am heading straight for it. I think it might be on top of that plateau there. Or no, be on the other side of it, wouldn't it? It's right there. Yeah, it's too far over for that. So when the main remote 2 goes there, now from here, it's literally almost straight that way. I've been to it before. I'm pretty sure. Just I don't remember where it was. I think that might be it right there. Well, I know a good way to find out. Foundations, ramp 4 meter. This could be one of those implied.
Harvest it.
I mean, if that's what it is, I need to...
Fix-it personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late. Harvest.
I just like blowing stuff up in this game. Past it, which tells me it's down below. There it is. Thank you for the hydrate reminders there. Don't mind if I do. These guys are pretty easy to get rid of. Will you hold still, please? Really? Well, as long as they're not in the way. Alright, so that's the bauxite node and the coal taken care of. So the first step is going to be getting it processed into the aluminum solution, which requires water and the bauxite. So let us see where we're going to end up with this. I think I'm going to have that be the first machinery. So did you find everything you were looking for at the store? Yeah. Yep. And then I'll go to play Minecraft and I'll try to do that in Minecraft and it doesn't work. So first step is going to be a refinery. That is annoying. Because the inlet for the... I suppose we can rotate it that way. This will make aluminum. And then 3 water extractors for this. So 1, 2, 3. Logistics, Mark II pipeline. Go. I'm just gonna go straight from there to there. Put our junction on. have 2 more refineries. Ha! Baby Yoda! You'd make Scar happy. So 2 refineries. Take that solution and turn it into the other aluminum stuffs. Let's see, aluminum scrap. That was the one that requires the coal. And it outputs the water. 5 silica. Sure, let's see. And I brought stuff for that. Good. That's good. And a stackable water pipeline support. I don't believe I need more than one Mark 1 pipe. And then this is also where I'm going to junction off. For the other solution, which is going to be the blender over there somewhere. Okay, so we get the aluminum scrap in the water. Conveyor merger. And then the water I can make go somewhere else. Nope. And the cross section. Mark 1 pipe from there to there. Into the packager. And it was 2 packagers if I remember right. I'm running out of space here. Yeah. So they need to package the water. We make package water. Wah. Logistics, pipeline Mark 1. And then the plastic comes in from the constructor. And I believe it was 2 constructors actually. I can't go look because it's at the other end. But I believe it was 2 because I got 8 there. Not quite enough room. Two constructors because we need enough to do the entirety of that. And we're just making the plastic, the empty canisters. And a conveyor splitter here. If I remember right, technically I don't actually need separate conveyors. Or I don't need to merge the conveyors. That just takes it over there. Which one is the trash line? Way over there, I think. Yep. I can tell because of all the trash going along it. Alright, so we'll deal with that in a little bit. But first, merge those together. Actually, I think it might be a good idea to have it go that way instead. It lined up with something else instead. Downside being in tech quarters. No idea what I was trying to do there. And that'll lead off to the trash line, which is where that will go to. Alright, so we've got it up to that point. That's our luminous solution. Let's see, constructors. We want it to face this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Splitters. We're gonna need 2 of these altogether, or 3. And of course, it's more than 0 Fahrenheit out, so my neighbors are out running around on their motorcycles and other. Whatever it is, ATVs. And these will all be making aluminum casings. Aluminum casings. So that would be 2 belts coming from there, one for coal and one for the bauxite to feed into all of this. And then the other way, we're going to have a belt bringing silica in and a belt bringing in sulfur. All right, I shall hydrate. All right, now expand our platform a little bit. And I think I'm going to merge it all together and then use another splitter to send it both to the blender, as well as send it off to help out back at where near to the elevator, space elevator, that area. Alright, so that would be covered. Now we'll need 2 refinery. Well, 2. We need 1 more refinery and the blender. The blender's going to be the bigger part. I might be able to squeeze the refinery in here. Because that just takes water in and the sulfur in. One more water extractor. And a water pipe. And that'll take in the sulfur, and it outputs only liquid sulfuric acid, which goes into the blender. And I don't think I have enough room for a blender here. I do have room for a blender, barely. Kind of hanging off, but it'll work. Battery. And we take a tier 1 pipe from here and plug that into there. And then somehow get a pipe from over there over to there. Where is this thing again? Oh, up there. There's gonna be some clipping. So there's not a whole lot I can do about that. That's where that goes. Let's see. We got that going in there. That's going to be annoying. But I know what it is. It's coal. So. Conveyor poles. 2, 3. Get that there. I don't think I actually have enough anything on me to make the belts. So that would be the coal, which is further away. Where is the bauxite? It's over there. Or yonder. Probably reach that. Okie dokie. Little more hydration. I'm pretty confident I do not have materials for all the belts I need to make. Because I'm going to need 2 belts to bring materials from that way, but it also want to take materials over that way. And really too, because if I'm taking aluminum casings over there as well. Plus we need to power all this. Let's see, I think the bauxite goes in that one. That's the exit for the trash chute. Right? Yeah, because that's a merger. No. Let's see, bauxite goes in there. That's the one the coal goes into. Okay. How to run this? That's the trash line. So we're throwing away all of the water bottles. Was there another step? I think it was silica. We were checking as well. Or at least that's what we normally do with it. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Let me out, please. Now, as soon as I'm able to get through here. And then merger it over there. And we definitely don't have enough steel to do that. I usually start with the Mark III belts. Sploosh. And of course, eventually I need to run the belts down this way, and I might only run the aluminum casings back to the base. Although, since the batteries are part of the craft, it might be prudent to just send the batteries. So that means we're going to have 4 more belts added into this pile. 1 for the sulfur, 1 for silica, and then 2 heading back. 1 with aluminum casings and 1 with the batteries. Depending on where I end up crafting those. Well, funnily enough, I feel like we've made about as much progress today so far as I was hoping for. At least get the battery factory set up, even if it's not necessarily producing anything yet. We'll get there. Steel for belts, primarily is what I'm after here. Steel beams. I think I actually do have the resources to make the quartz factory bigger. To make the oscillating crystals. That's just sprockets. Deposit the comply in the box over here. The sulfuric acid technically will show up later in the recipe for I believe it's in recipe for those nuclear doohickeys. Yeah, you need some for that. Uranium and a little bit of concrete. So I'm probably going to just feed that all in by hand. It does mean I'll have to set up another blender, but since that's going to be a one-time only thing, I should be okay with that. And this is the part where we end up sucking away all the excess power we have stored away. And be like, oh dear, we need to set up more power gen. If that's the case, though, we do have more oil nodes. There's a normal node over by where we've got the fungus stuff that's still technically unclaimed, and I'll probably I'm not sure how I'm running where I'd run all this stuff to do it, but set up more fuel generators is probably what I'll do. And it looks like they did fix that issue I had in previous run-throughs where you have the radar tower sitting there, but it never updates the map as you unlock the more stuff you can scan for. So let's see. I think we'll start with the water bottle disposal. Run that one over to the trash line. And then the silica one. Now, you usually just... I suppose I could try sending it over to the other. The problem with that line is when it backs up, it actually stops your aluminum from being produced. That's why I've just been trashing it. Although I suppose, because of where it's at and with the pressure on the silica generation already, it might not be a bad idea to run it there and then split it. And have part of it going to the disposal. But I would want the disposal part for that to be before it gets to the merger from the line coming in from the other side. Because if you do it after that point, it's just trashing most of it. And we need it to not be disposed of. Let's see, conveyor belt Mark III. only gonna use a one line here, so. And a merger. So that'll take the extra water bottles that we're not using and stuff them in there. That's the output from that. And it's this that outputs the silica? Yeah. Alright, let's see. Because it would go into there. I think I'm just going to stick with my original plan. Oh, merger. Merger for that. Now, gotta go over to the... I think I want to run the coal node first, actually. And we haven't even run power yet, either. All this work just to finish off a couple of little research things and finish the game. But it will be worth it in the end. And I don't remember if I can just use the item elevator. Just took it straight on. I think I can. Gotta be careful though that we don't walk off the edge though. So the coal goes in. I'll have to look. Gonna have to look again. I think the coal is used up there, though. Yeah. So, we'll need to carry it all the way over there. And then this is the one that takes the bauxite. Now, on the plus side for the power stuff, I only have the 2 miners. I'll probably end up doing the other part that was bottlenecked earlier over the weekend. As well as possibly setting up the remaining autocrafts. Yes, I know it needs a connection. Actually, since we're here... And in theory, this should be the last time I have to get this way. In theory. Let's not walk off the edge. Now I can make some Mark II poles. We're gonna definitely need at least one more. I think I'm gonna put one over here. We're gonna need quite a few of those, jeez. And these are far enough away to have their own separate power. Gonna use almost 400 megawatts. And that pole is full too. I'm pretty sure everything is attached to power now. So we got that going in there. The plastic. I could probably just pull off of that line. Invalid shape. Yep. And that should feed those with plastic, so that's taken care of. We just need the silica and the sulfur. As for getting it over there, I have no idea. But the sulfur needs to go into there. Oh. And also I need to splitter this. And so that's where the no. Aluminum casings goes in there. The sulfur goes in that one. Yeah. Sulfur into there. This is going to be painful to wire up, but yeah, let's have it. Sulfur and silica goes over there. Somewhere. Cool. There's the right face to that, right? Yeah. Into the this mess. Plus side is it's one more belt from the giant stack we've got. So sulfur and silica go that way, and then batteries, I'm not sure I'm going to do the thing for that. But the aluminum casings for sure, we're going to want to send this way. Let's guess up because it's already got 3 from that point. Since it's going to be the most painful to run, I think I might do the sulfur first. As for the silica, I don't have to actually go the entire way. I can just branch off closer to our hub location. Also, we're running low on iron rods and iron plates. if it actually built and every time somebody misclicked, there would be stackable conveyor belts, poles all over the countryside, and there would be various pipe supports, and certain machines would be just everywhere. It'd be like, I could have swore I had enough of item X. It's like, yeah, you did have enough of that, and then you misclicked. And I think I can pull it through there and around that way. The painful part is going to be up top. And I don't know that that's close enough to be able to actually go from there straight to there. Actually, before I go any further, I need to refill some stuff here. I would say something about it, at least everything is running while I'm in world, but it's on it's a server, so it's running anyways. We need more of that too. And not necessarily more of that, but we need more of that. And more of that. A little more of that. Have a quick drink. And it's been 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's progress, I suppose. Progress. And then I have to remember my label for yesterday's streams that we made an aluminum factory, which is pretty much what we did. So today it would be that we made a battery factory, or at least most of it. The nice thing about them being stackable is that they can stack up basically indefinitely. The downside of being stackable is that you can quickly make it so tall that you can't actually reach. So I think for this, I might actually, when I get to this section, climb up top. Fun. That one is going to be a bit of a pain. And by fun, I mean a pain in the butt. I would like it though if the power lines could be also stacked. back to thumping. That could be an interesting thing to add. Um, where when you have stackable conveyor poles, if you aim at it and it as a stack, and there's a section that doesn't have the thing, it get make it more difficult for some areas where if you need to have several empties to space things out. But have it to where you can point to any of them on the stack and it automatically puts it at the top. That way, it makes it a little easier to hit it where you want it. I mean, if I don't need that. I mean, these are totally carefully measured and scientifically aligned. And I got out all the fancy tools and such to make sure it would be where it needs to go. Well, I was hoping to at least have it up and running here, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. That one I can understand because you can let it do that from time to time. But when it's like right next to it, it seems a little silly, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna have way more sulfur than I ever need. On the plus side, the closer we get to where we're going with it, the shorter the conveyor poles get. Because, despite the fact that there's no way it's going to reach, that's totally where we want to put it, is up on that ceiling. Balance between production of materials for it and amount of materials they move. Because while the Mark 1 is cheaper, it also doesn't move very much. You're limited to 60 items a minute, whereas the Mark IIIs move 270 items a minute. Actually, it sounds like as if they're out at their homemade shooting range, which is completely legal here. Can we finish this before the end of stream? I might have to run over to do that. I know some people will be like, yes, extra long stream. Unfortunately, the scheduled time for the workers to be here is 8 o'clock, but it's one of those, it could be 8, could be more like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't really know until they get here. So close. So they're going to that foundry to make the sulfuric acid, and then we need to bring over the silica. And then all the outputs here have to go somewhere. And the sulfur made it all the way to the end. Swim a little bit. And that's where that goes. And the silica goes in there. Okay to see that. Yes, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. That's also exactly what everybody does. When they climb to the top of the ladder, they jump off. Tells me that section's not connected correctly. There it goes. And it might do that again at another point, but we'll get there when we get there. I think what we might do is temporarily just put a couple of storage containers down there and just dump everything into those. Since I don't think we're going to need all of it immediately, but just to get it to run. It'll take a while for the bauxite to get there. I don't remember if I need batteries for the other parts. I know I need sulfuric acid for some of it, but I don't know that I need batteries. I think what I might do for the final phase is go ahead and set the particle accelerator up as part of the production out near a copper node. Or 2 or 3. On the plus side, having set all that stuff up earlier makes it a lot easier when you need to run stuff. The downside is it's a really, really long way. Like, I believe it's actually several kilometers away. Ugh. No, this is just to get batteries. That means there's somewhere else that's not working. seems to be making it now. One more thing to do here. Let's see, where was the outpush of that? That comes over to there. Ah. Temporarily put some storage there. And I'm not dealing with the water from that at the moment. So it's not going to run for very long anyway. Let's see. Power in is right there at the moment. Oh, that's a positive sign. I'll deal with that a little later time. But it's also that time of the stream. Well, actually, it's about 10 minutes after that time of the stream. So, yeah, I'm just gonna pull up my inventory. Well, that's rather sad. So, anyways, it looks like I don't have anybody to raid today. I do hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I will be streaming tomorrow as well, tomorrow night, around 10-ish my time, 10:30. It seems to vary. I'm not sure when the actual start time is supposed to be, but when you're relying on some other people too. And then we'll be back for more of this on Tuesday. And it'll probably either be next week or the week after when we actually finish everything out. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you guys all later.